The gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you also to our subcommittee chairman, Mr. Graves, our ranking member, Mr. DeFazio, and also my other good friend, the ranking member on the subcommittee, Ms. Napolitano. I'm proud to join them to support this bill and to say that WRDA works. In 2014, during my first term in Congress, we passed the first Water Resource Development Act in 7 years. This bill made critical reforms to add efficiencies to the core process of studying and recommending projects for authorization. And importantly, it set us up to get WRDA back on a 2-year cycle of authorizations. This bill represents the continuation of that process. Our bill authorizes a total of 8 Army Corps of Engineers Chiefs reports that we received since the last WRDA passed in Congress, passed by us in 2016. All of these chief reports have been fully vetted by the committee at hearings during this Congress and in an open and transparent process. Now, I haven't shied away from my criticism of the Corps in the past, and I think that the Corps is good at building things, but actually getting to construction is typically the most difficult part of the process. One particular provision in this bill directs the National Academy of Sciences to analyze the Corps' civil works functions and the potential impacts of transferring those functions to another federal agency, and they will be required to provide recommendations to us in Congress. Mr. Speaker, it's truly clear that WRDA works. The authorizing committee has diligently worked over the past 3 Congresses to get us back on this 2-year cycle to ensure that we continue to improve processes. I would also be remiss, Mr. Speaker, if I didn't mention those projects of national significance that have been authorized for many years and yet have seen very little progress, including the Navigation and Ecosystem Sustainability Program, or NESP. Authorized by Congress in 2007, this critical project would expand 7 locks on the upper Mississippi and Illinois rivers to meet the demand for barges to support agriculture and other commodities getting to the global marketplace. Unfortunately, because of incongruent priorities at the Corps in the past and a reluctance from the Appropriations Committee, we have yet to see this move forward. And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, we can and must do better to align our priorities with the Corps to ensure critical projects of national significance don't languish in initial authorization, which is why, related to my earlier comments, I believe it's important for the Corps to understand the implications and potential efficiencies of moving the Corps to another federal agency. Thank you again. I yield back.
Gentleman reserves.